put a smile on your face and put a smile on someone else's. Get up! Yes, we have made it to today. We've got 4 days left of 2022. We got a visitor. You coming to show some love? You coming to show some love? Yeah! Woo! Happy Tuesday! Happy Tuesday! Let's go. All right. What's the energy needed today? Today we're going to talk about what is the energy that is required to thrive today, right? So welcome to High Performance Now. I get the privilege to bring you the energy and enthusiasm to bridge the gap in that cycle of disconnection, that constant perpetuating of going through the motions. We're gonna tap into an energy today. We're gonna tap into an energy today, and we're gonna have this transfer throughout every part of our life. Yeah, we got the energy going. We got the childlike enthusiasm. That's the energy that's needed today. So my son, he will be running around. He's throwing a ball, making a mess. What's the matter? Come on. Come on. All right. We're on daddy duty. Woo! All right, y'all. So what's the energy needed today? So to start right off the bat is the power of threes. The power of threes. This is adult learning theory 101. This is in my personal development journey, being a student of the science of high performance, being a certified high performance coach. I am challenging myself every single day to show up and to help raise the necessity, to strive for a greater vision and to level up that ambition. So in this journey, I've had to recommit myself to learning and development. Personal development is about owning where we are and then setting ourselves up to have a vision of where we can be. But what is the energy that's needed today? As we go into 2023, we're going to be met with a lot of challenges because this is the year that we go for that goal. This is the year that we become champions in life. So I just want to tell you a little bit more about my personal journey, where I'm at today in my process. This is the demonstration of role modeling, owning the fact that I am going to be my son's greatest role model in his life, owning the fact that I'm going to be the greatest influence in my wife's life, that I have to challenge myself to demonstrate excellence. So the energy that's needed today is high performance. And what high performance means is succeeding beyond standard norms over the long term while maintaining positive well-being and relationships. Woo! How many of us need to level up? Level up that self-care, to give ourselves credit for how hard we've worked. So shout out to everybody watching the replay. I really appreciate y'all. Thank you for everybody who joins live. So today we're going to tap into what's the energy needed today. And the first area of focus in my power 3, right? So every day I'm going to come with my power of 3 because it's essential in adult learning theory. So this is my commitment to learning, creating this lesson plan, and then sharing it with you to inspire you to have the energy to be able to sustain the mission. Because as high performers, sometimes we can lose sight of the long-term vision when we're constantly going through the challenges and struggles of the day. I know that every day is going to bring something new. And with that being said, I have to be prepared. I have to be prepared for the opportunities, and I also have to be prepared for the challenges. So as we get going, as people start to come in, let me know how you're feeling today. The intention, bring the joy. So this is an opportunity to live my dream, to demonstrate it, but to reflect it back, to say, let's go, champ. Let's go, champ. Let's tap in. All right. So the first area of focus when asking the question, what's the energy needed today, is to clean up. The energy is high performance, which means succeeding beyond standard norms over the long term. So what is the area that we need to clean up? So it's about raising the bar to stretch, challenge, and push ourselves to demonstrate the best of us. So as a coach, this is an influence process for me, right? Coaching is an influence process that leads to discovery, decision-making, performance improvement, and better living. So when I made the decision to go all in to my vision, my dream, I was pushed into it. It wasn't something that, success doesn't happen by accident. I've had to learn the hard way because my entire life I had been waiting for that reason. And for me, that reason was giving myself permission. I was looking for the reason to go all in, to step into the unknown, to deal with the uncertain fact that I can't control the outcome, that this is in God's hands. This is God's plan. But I have to be able to own what I can control. And what I can control is my focus. What I can control is how hard I'm willing to work. How hard I'm willing to work to sustain the energy to be able to maintain that long-term vision. So what's the energy needed today? The first category to focus on is to clean up, right? So that energy is high performance, which means succeeding beyond standard norm over the long term while maintaining positive well-being and relationships, right? So the positive well-being, sorry, we have a visitor. That positive well-being, what is it like to nurture yourself over the long term? Because this is going to be the year 2023 where we strive for that championship. So what is the long-term relationship with self going to be like? What is that self-care going to be like? How are you going to congratulate yourself for showing up? Or are you going to wait until you're hoisting the trophy to feel like a champion? I don't think you hear me. Are you going to wait to hoist the trophy to feel like a champion? Or are you going to give yourself credit and celebrate that victory for showing up? Because guess what? Nothing outside of you can validate you. Nothing outside of you can give you the feeling of fulfillment. Fulfillment. Like filling yourself up with the feeling of the best of you. So what are the categories and areas of your life that you need to clean up? In order, because when we declutter, we create this spiritual opening. We create this mental mind share becomes available to us to see ourselves reflected back to us in our environments, in our products, our creations, in our interactions. So yesterday, we set goals to have clarity in our health, relationships, and mission, right? So what is that vision for optimal health? What is that vision of you at your best, feeling your best, getting the proper rest at night, the sleep, the nutrition, the hydration? What is you at your best in the category of health? What is the vision of you at your best in your relationship? Now, I know, sometimes, like for me, I just shared with you that I had to be pushed into the best version of myself, that I wasn't showing up as the best version of me in my relationship, that I wasn't valuing, recognizing, and appreciating my partner enough. Why? Because I wasn't taking care of self. So the first category of self is our health. Because when we focus on our health, we get that enrichment of life. We get that elegant feeling of wealth, prosperity, and it starts in our health. So yesterday we focused on gaining clarity of what is our vision for our health in 2023, right? What is our vision in our relationships, our significant other, our partner, our spouse? Or if we're off the dating scene right now, what is the most important relationship in your life? What is the vision for that? What is the vision like with your children? What is that vision? Right? And then in the area of our mission, our career, what is the vision for ourselves? That if we're in a job that we're not enjoying, how can we bring more engagement to where we're at currently? How do we become resourceful? So the first area to look at is in the category of cleanup. To have the energy that's needed today, we have to declutter. So where in our lives, in the categories of health, relationships, and our mission, can we clean up? I know for me, I had to be pushed into my best self. I had to be met with challenge in order to say, okay, enough's enough. Enough settling for the standard norm. Enough settling for lowering the bar to make other people comfortable. Enough settling for giving up on myself. Not following through with my projects. Not following through with my commitments. How many of us ever been there before? I had to be pushed into the best version of myself, and that came with understanding the consequence of not living as my best self. That when I took my eye off the road for that split second in time, and for me it was about a year. It was about a year. It was about a year that I had settled into a level of comfort where I wasn't stretching myself. I wasn't challenging myself to be the best version of myself. And what that did was that didn't pay forward the love, the appreciation that I was given. And what do I mean by that? Well, my son, he's 2.5, right? So the first year of his life, I had the blinders on, as if I was this horse in a race, and I just had those blinders on, where I was just focused on being a phenomenal father. That was my goal. That was my vision for myself, was just to be a phenomenal father, right? So I had all of my energy focused in this one direction, because where focus goes, energy flows. You all right? I was focused on being a phenomenal father, but I took my eye off of who I needed to be in my relationship. My relationship needed challenge. My relationship needed striving for a higher level, right? And my lady, she was in a place where she was rediscovering who she was. She was rediscovering who she was in this new stage of her life as a mother. Who was she now as a mother? Because she was constantly giving all of herself to her children, well, to her one child, right? But this is the paradox of parenting. This is the paradox where we know our children deserve 100% of our energy, time, attention, presence. But the challenge comes in is, what are we giving to ourselves? And I couldn't see the signs because I was so focused on my son. I couldn't see that my wife needed challenge. My wife needed me to demonstrate and role model leadership of challenging myself to inspire her. Because the energy that was required then is what I constantly keep in perspective every day, because there's an intensity to the present moment. And if we don't tap into it, we're disengaged, we're disinterested, dissatisfied. How many moments in our lives have to reflect dissatisfaction for us to start caring more? And because I wasn't striving for excellence, I wasn't striving for higher performance in all areas of my life, I almost lost the most important relationship that I've ever experienced. Because my lady wanted to get a place of our own and become independent. And I wasn't in a space where I was focused on that. I was only focused on the protection of my son's connection to himself, right? And I had got caught up in this cycle, and it started to perpetuate a feeling of disconnection, because the more I got focused on what it was that I wanted, I had the blinders on. I couldn't see where else I was needed. And where else I was needed was to level up in my career, to level up my finances, to build myself up, to be able to get a place of our own so that she could discover herself. And because I had pushed that off and pushed that away, she had asked on numerous occasions, hey, can we do this? And I would tell her, not yet. I'm not ready. I've never done this parent thing. For the parents out there, it's a scary thing when you have children. It's a scary thing when you have children because all you want to do is protect them. All you want to do is protect them. You want to be able to put yourself in position and put them in position to fulfill their dreams. But the greatest disservice that we can do for our children is not demonstrate what it looks like living our dream, striving for our dream, going through the process pain of developing into the person that can fulfill the purpose. Because how can we teach something if we don't experience it, if we don't actually have the wisdom from applying the knowledge? I've met many adults in my life as an adolescent, as a child, that shared some powerful knowledge, but then I started to psychoanalyze, and that's not what we do in coaching. I'm speaking as a student. Started to analyze their lives. Like, do they actually live this and actually practice this? Because I can get up here and share all the information that I've acquired, the knowledge, the resources, but it does no good if I'm not actually applying it, because how could I sustain the energy that's required to share this information? But this is the demonstration, the role modeling of the best version of myself, the challenge to generate the energy, because sometimes, and most times, we don't have the energy to do what we know we want to do or need to do, but it's taking that challenge to clean up the different areas of our life, like our health, our relationships, our career, and engaging to be able to have the mental mind share, the clarity, the clear vision, so that we can see, how do we generate the energy? How do we produce the energy of the moment? How do we tap in and align and attune ourselves to be a tuning fork, to be able to feel the presence of the moment, and then generate the energy to meet and match the frequency of where our vision exists? The vision of our best selves and our health, it already exists within us. We can close our eyes and tap into and sculpt and craft ourselves into the best versions of ourselves. So I'm challenging you to look into the areas of your life, like your nutrition, your hydration, your sleep, how you're choosing to recharge throughout the day, and ask yourself, where do I need to clean up? What area do I need to clean up in order to live the vision? And I know it's challenging, but that's the purpose of having a coach. It's an influence process. We're here to discover, but also make decisions, because we're headed to better living. But the only way to reach better living is through performance improvements. We have to improve our performance day in and day out and stay committed. Staying committed to the process is the demonstration that we understand who and what we are. Who and what we are is co-creators. We are in a relationship with our creator, co-creating and supporting that which supports us. So the energy that's needed today is already present, but it's going to require a deeper engagement with your own presence, a full focus and engagement with the now, right? So what's the energy that's needed today? It's first to look at, where do I need to clean up, right? What habits do I need to clean up? Because we can craft this vision of the best versions of ourselves, the best version of us in our health, in our relationship, in our mission, serving our purpose, right? But what is the vision for full engagement? What is the vision for having more joy in the process? Like, how can we laugh through hardship? How can we laugh at ourselves for getting up and trying and falling down? Right? That's the challenge. What is the vision of confidence? What is the vision of you as your most confident self? What does that look like? What does that feel like? So one of my challenges is within hydration. So you'll see me all the time, constantly drinking water. And yes, I use the bathroom a lot more now. But that's a part of the sacrifice. That's the lost pain. That's the lost pain of giving up the comfort. It's an actual challenge to hydrate. Because I want to feel my best. I want to be flexible. I want to be optimal within my health to be able to perform at my best level. I challenged myself this morning to make this my best performance. That every day I'm choosing to clean up these areas of my life so that I can get into the second part. And the second part is to level up. To level up! Right? So high performance is succeeding beyond standard norms. What is that standard norm? What is the bar that's set in our environment? Is it mediocrity? Is it conformity? The challenge is to go beyond the standard norm. What is your new normal? What happened? What did you touch? Hang tight, y'all. Come on. What are you doing, man? Come on. All right. So, hey, here you go. Thank you to my wife who left these with me as she went out. There you go. All right. So the second part is to level up because high performance is succeeding beyond standard norms. Succeeding beyond standard norms is to look into our environment and see where people may be conforming, where people are settling, and to challenge ourselves to succeed beyond that, to not allow that to influence our energy. Sometimes it's easy to be around negativity and start to adopt a negative outlook or perspective on how we view ourselves or how we view others or the world. It's easy to watch the evening news and form a perspective of the world, but the challenge in that is to level up beyond the standard norm. Because you're not normal. to join a live like this, to be engaged in high performance, to be engaged in personal development, you're not normal. Nowhere in your life should we settle for normal. We're ordinary. We're just like everyone else. But what's unique is not normal. And we have a unique perspective. It's in our interpretation. It's how we interpret the world. So the standard norm is unique to you. It's unique to each and every person, because what my standard is can't be your standard. Why? Because we don't share the same experience. We both can strive for the same goal. We both can strive to have excellent energy, but how I describe it, the words, the language, the intention that I attach to it means something different to me, because I've been through what I've been through and you've been through what you've been through. So the second challenge is to level up, because high performance is succeeding beyond standard norms. So what does your next level look and feel like? That if you were to level it up today, if you were to choose today that I'm going to level up my performance here in life, present, fully engaged, what does that look like? Right? What does your passion feel like? Hello! You gotta wipe your mouth, man. You coming all on live. What's up, man? What you looking for? You looking at the phone? Oh, you want another one? All right. I got you. Here. Here you go. All right. So, daddy duties. So, what does your passion feel like? Like if you were to level up your passion, what does that actually feel like? What does it feel like being engaged in what you're passionate about? It's about challenging yourself to bring more passion in your relationship. What does your passion feel like? I know that our partner can feel our passion. I know that our children can feel our passion. But what does your passion feel like? What does it feel like for you? What does it feel like for you to be engaged, to be passionate, to be in the zone, to be in the flow state? Constantly, over the long term, right? Because it's about the long term. It's easy. It's easy to be consumed with the moment, to be consumed with the current circumstances. But despite the appearance, to know the truth, and the truth will make you free. The freedom is within. The freedom is a choice. The freedom is to choose to reinterpret your experience to align in the direction of your vision, to align to the direction of the highest and best part of you. But it starts with asking ourselves, with what needs to clean up? What do we need to clean up? And then what do we need to level up to get there? How do we go all the way, right? So what is one new way that you can level up your presence and engagement? Like, one way for me to level up my presence and engagement is to constantly stay hydrated, because I'm generating the energy that's needed today at my highest level to serve at the next level. So that means I'm sweating a little more. That I'm preparing for my vision, for my dream of speaking on stages, to be able to transform people's lives every single day for the rest of my life. So I'm generating the energy that's required to keep myself going in the process of what's showing up right now. But to have the clarity of the vision of where it's going, I first have to look at, what do I need to clean up? Where do I need to clean up my behaviors in my health? What about my behavior in my relationship? What needs to clean up there? And then in my mission, what habits do I need to clean up? So, okay, and I'll demonstrate and I'll role model what high performance coaching actually is. It's raising our personal self-awareness, right? Like, in my health, I had to discipline my sleep routine. I had to discipline my nutrition. I have to challenge myself every day to hydrate, to constantly hydrate. right? In my relationship, I had to challenge myself to not wear the struggle. And even if I went through a hard day of pushing myself, challenging myself to live with excellence, that I couldn't bring the struggle into my relationship, because this is a sacred space for healing and nurturing and love and passion, right? So I had to challenge myself to clean up my behavior, because I was bringing the negativity of the world. I was bringing the negativity of my own mind, because I had all this mental clutter. And I had to clean up my behavior and decide that I was going to act as if I value, recognize, and appreciate this relationship. So my challenge to you is to look into these areas of our health, our relationships, and our mission. Right? For me, in my mission was to challenge myself to stop waiting until that when my bank account reached X number, I'd start. That when I had millions of followers, millions of fans, then I would share my expertise, my knowledge to teach and train on my curriculum, my instructional design. But I couldn't wait until when, because it wouldn't happen. So I had to clean up my expectation of what it took and what was required to serve at that level. So the demonstration of me living high performance, right, as a student, a research reporter of high performance, but also a certified high performance coach, I had to demonstrate what it does in my life, right? Because if I'm going to teach and train people on this, then that means our visitors here. Let me know where you're tuning in from. So the demonstration is what's required to fulfill the purpose. That's the energy that's needed. That's what high performance means to me, is the demonstration that I understand who and what I am in my purpose, that I've been given a gift of a second chance at life, and I'm going to fight for it every single day. I'm not going to pretend like it doesn't matter to me. I'm going to show up as a professional every single day, no matter what I feel. To go beyond the standard norm, to go beyond the standard that I set for myself and I allowed others to set for me. That I'm going to challenge myself to go above and beyond every day. Because and this is what I'm so excited to share with you. Because we have to put truth over feeling. Truth over feeling. Because what we feel sometimes isn't aligned to our highest truth. Can I get an amen on that? Sometimes our truth, sometimes we have to focus on truth over our feelings, because sometimes we don't feel like showing up. Sometimes we don't feel like engaging with our children, with our significant other, or doing the things to take care of ourselves, of cutting our nails and washing our hair. And I said this morning that the mission is what gets me up to shower, because I'll wait all day. You get what I'm saying? Like we have to have a reason for being. We have to give ourselves that purpose, right? So sometimes we may not feel like showing up as our best self, but truth over feeling. To put the truth over the feeling, and that's what makes us free. Because when we know the truth makes us free, right? And the truth is our vision of who we can become, who we say that we are. Who is it we say that we are? Because I am signifies becoming. And if I am great, if I am a world-class coach, a dynamic speaker, right? If that's my personal belief and that's what I know is true, then my demonstration is showing up as that every single day, despite what I feel. I have to put that as my truth. Am I living my truth? Am I willing to live the truth of who I say that I am. Because when I say that I am great, I know that there's challenge coming. I know that there's some haters. We know that greatness is going to emanate, magnify, radiate, and what that does is it inspires others to level up, but it also inspires insecurities to come out because it makes people reflect on what they're not doing. So the beauty of purpose is it's unique to you. It's in your heart. You know what it is that fires you up. You know what it is you enjoy doing most. But the challenge every single day is, are you willing to give yourself the time, energy, and presence within that greatness to fulfill that purpose? But it's going to take you grabbing the wheel and saying, I'm going to fully engage and I'm not going to let go. And I'm going to decide to put truth over feeling, that even if I don't feel like my best self today, that I'm going to focus on the truth of me, of who I can become. And I'm going to raise my ambition. I'm going to level up to that vision, right? Because the energy that's needed today is first to look into those areas of our lives and see, where do we need to clean up? What is our behaviors that need to clean up? Right? And then second is to level up. What does our passion feel like? What is one new way you can level up your presence and engagement? Right? Like what needs to happen for you to go all in? How do we level up our presence and engagement in the moment with what's showing up? Because despite the appearance, to know the truth, and we put truth over feeling, right? But also, I got one for y'all. Y'all ready for this? It's feelings over facts. Truth over feeling, and feeling over facts. Let me break it down for you. The facts that are showing up in your life, right? The facts can be you're late on rent. The fact can be your significant other is not so happy right now. The fact can be your health is not in a good place. The fact can be you don't have the relationship with your children that you want. But this is where we engage with the facts of our experience to then raise the ambition of them, to clean up our behaviors in them, to then level up by saying, well, what is the truth? What is the truth of the vision of this? What is the best of this look like? Like what, okay, if I'm struggling in my finances, these are the facts, right? These are the facts that are showing up. But despite the appearance, to know the truth. Okay, well, what can I do next? What can I do about my finances? Well, if I step back as the observer and say, okay, well, finances aren't feelings. I'm the one attaching the feelings to that. Well, what feelings do I need to attach to that? My feelings must be in alignment to that vision. And sometimes they're not going to be. Sometimes they're going to be all over the place. But this is where we fully engage and grab a hold of our experience, right? Because the power is within our own interpretation. Is to recast, to reshift the relative weight of importance and duration. The relative weight of importance and duration of what we feel, to analyze what we're feeling, to see, does this even serve me? Does what I'm feeling right now serve me? Or am I just a prisoner to the facts? Am I a prisoner to the facts of my experience? That the appearance of who the world is saying that I am is not good enough. Do I want to keep that? Does that serve my loved ones? Does that lead me to being a leader and role model for my nieces, my nephews, my children, my lineage to come after? Because the fact is, we have the ability to recast, to reshift the weight of importance in how we feel, our interpretation, to reshift, to recalibrate, to remember who and what we are in God, made in the image and likeness of God. What does that mean? That means of our highest good, our greatest self-image, of who and what we say we are in our vision. Like, to go beyond the scenes of sight, we've been gifted the privilege of our visual sensation of sight, but to go beyond that, because in sight is where we see the facts. The truth is, going into 2024, next year, this time, you're going to be living an even greater life because you've demanded high performance of yourself. You're going to celebrate the victories and wins of financial prosperity, the elegance and wealth that comes with putting the work in, because we honored the struggle. We gave ourselves credit for all that we've been through. We didn't discount or discredit ourselves. We didn't wait until the championship to start celebrating, but we celebrated our victories every day that we showed up, because we generated the energy. We tapped into the present moment. We tapped into the presence of the now. Because when we're in the moment, when we're present, how many of us ever had an experience where time just stood still, or it just flew on by? It felt like we were so immersed in the moment that time didn't even exist. Right? When we're more present with our children, we enjoy that interaction. When we're more present in our work, in our craft, our career, or we have a great workout where it forces us to be present on each rep, we're tapped into the presence of the now. What's the energy needed today? It's always present. It's omnipresent. The energy that's required to fulfill the purpose put in your heart is present today. But if you wait until tomorrow, you might miss it. Because tomorrow is not promised. All we got is right now. So it's fully engaging and generating the energy to clean up our behaviors, to clean up our actions and behaviors to align to that vision. Because remember, truth over feelings. The truth is stronger than what we feel, right? But it's also feelings over facts. That we can determine, we can reshape our interpretation to then decide, what are the feelings that I want to feel? What are the feelings that are associated to the vision of my best self? What does my passion feel like? What does full engagement feel like? What does it feel like being immersed in my best self? And there's an intensity to the present moment. There's an intensity to high performance. It means not letting go. Like, every day you can expect this, because this is what I have to generate out of myself to remind myself that this is important, that my family is important to me, that my wife, my son, my sisters, my mother, my father, my cousins, the people I get the opportunity to coach, lead, and serve, they matter to me, right? We got the visitor. We got young Tay. Here we go, bud. Go ahead. Thank you for coming. Who we got in the building? Danae on Facebook. What's up, sis? Ty, what's up, brother? It's an engagement with the best version of ourselves. Like when I got married, right? I got married July 24th. My wife's birthday is the 23rd of July, and my son's birthday is the 25th of July. So the power of threes. For those of you who weren't here in the beginning, I talked about adult learning theory. I had to recommit to the process of learning, right? So I talked about that's the reason for the power of three. So a lot of these lessons I'm going to be sharing three main ideas, because that's the way that adults learn the best. It's takeaways, right? So Yesterday, we talked about the clarity of setting these goals for ourselves. So I asked you today, what is the energy? What's the energy needed today? And the first area that we focus on is to clean up. What is the behaviors in our health, our relationships, our mission, our career that we need to clean up, right? And then how do we level up? What is one new way to level up? Because I shared with you that I got married on July 24th, right? And this band symbolizes my commitment, my vow, right? My vow to my relationship. This was something that when I grew up, I grew up in a single parent home.